Good evening and welcome back to From Day One, Part 2 of our episode today. As always, let's hit the mailbag first and see what's waiting for us there. Alrighty, nice prize. Aw, crikey, nice little bonus. 70 nice emeralds. There's the win. Place 1, so max prize for the gold, silver, and bronze les metals. 5,500 million gold from the awesome Braum as he reaches also level 10. And again, for those wondering, for him to kick that off, that was a $225 purchase, giving him 75,000 emeralds, 300,000 storm coins to do, a 10,000 VIP point boost, and 5 million gold for himself. Okay, let's pick up our normal little items like guild activity. Here we are. While we're doing that, we're going to head on back to Sovereign Citizen Land for tonight's part 2. And we're going to do that first by going back to the 32nd District Court and have a sovereign citizen get shut down in the most dramatic and awesome of ways. Along for the ride with us will be one of our good friends, Mike, from Law Talk with Mike, for this particular version, as we head. I don't think our audio's been fixed, so actually before I go ahead and do that, no it hadn't, okay good. Didn't want to have them talk over. Get the spears. Alright, so here we go.
20-627-2201. The people of the state of Michigan versus James Matthew Tyers. The defendant is charged with 1 count of disorderly disturbance, and today is the date set for a pretrial conference. Ms. Ritter, your appearance, please.
For the record, Your Honor, Christina Ritter on behalf of the people.
Mr. Tyers, your appearance, please.
Wait a minute, this is gonna get good. As you can hear the defendant not answering the judge. Still not answering the judge. You might be wondering what's going on, but don't worry, it gets even better.
There is no Mr. Tyers. My name is James Matthew of the family Tyers. This has been established not only in your...
Nope.
Okay, his name is James Matthews of the Tyers family. Today is the date set for a pretrial conference. How are we proceeding today, Mr. James Matthews of the Tyers family?
You've been communicated with, Judge.
As I say, Mike, keep it together. You are supposed to be a lawyer.
Tyers family.
You've been communicated with, Judge, on several occasions.
Sir, you don't know if I've been communicated with.
Yes, I did, because I have documents. I have certified.
Okay, I'm going to mute you.
Okay, I'm going to mute you. Either you're an idiot, I'm going to mute you. And in time for the judge to have some fun.
You don't have anything with my name, with my signature on it. You don't know if I've been communicated with. You may be able to ask me if I've been communicated with, but you don't know if I've been communicated with. So please don't say that I've been communicated with. You may have communicated with the court. You may have communicated with the court clerk. You may have communicated with the court administrator, but you have not communicated with me, nor do you know whether I've received any communication. If you want to indicate that you have sent a document and you want to ask me if I received it, then we can discuss that. However, you don't know what I have received, nor who I've been in communication with. You may proceed.
Oscar says, hit like and subscribe.
Alright, what did I tell you about the doggies? I know you love plugging the dogs on these shows, but knock it off.
On the 19th of August, I spoke to you personally in your Zoom court, just as I am doing today, and I gave you the details of the situation. I also told you on the public court record that you'd been served with an affidavit of truth. That affidavit was sent to you in August. It was received by the 36th District Court in August. It became judgment and truth in law in September.
Nope.
It was also sent to Christina Ritter. It was also sent to the clerk of the court, who proceeded to send them back first-class mail without any communication. During that communication that I did speak to you regarding this situation, you abandoned ship.
Oh, really? Are we doing this bullshit, abandoned ship? Well, I guess we are. Proceed, moron.
Of the court and refused to address the situation. That is all recorded, witnessed, and videoed outside the front of the court.
No.
Since that time, I spoke to Christina Ritter after making 5 attempts to address the situation that should have been remedied a long time ago because of the criminal behaviour conducted by 2 police officers, one man and...
Criminal behavior conducted by police officers, yet you don't know how to put English together.
one woman. Because Christina Ritter decided to put the phone down on me again, abandoning ship and not wanting to deal with the situation,
I said, why we do that? Do you know why we do that?
Because you didn't want to address the situation.
Really? I didn't want to address the situation, even though this is what I do all day, every day, 5 days a week, is address situations. It probably was because on the day that you were outside of the courthouse, refusing to put on the mask that was mandated by the chief judge in order to enter the court building, and then you kept talking over me, and then I removed you from the courtroom. And so you call it abandoning ship, and I call it maintaining proper decorum of the courtroom. Miss Muldrow, do you have the file for Mr. Tyers?
There is no Mr. Tyers, Judge.
Don't interrupt me. I can call you Mr. Tyers if I want to.
Okay, well, I'm just making...
That is the name that appears on the docket. And so as the name appears on the docket, that is how I address all individuals who come before my court. At this particular moment, I am speaking to my court clerk, and I would appreciate if you would not interrupt that communication. Miss
I didn't-
Muldrow, can you look in the file and tell me, have I received any filings or anything from regarding this matter? Judge, I'm looking in the file and there's no motions or anything in here at all. So, sir, we have not received any motions despite you saying that
I didn't use a motion. I served you with an affidavit of truth, and last Friday, the 7th of January 2022, you were served with a second one that went to you.
I wasn't served with anything because last Friday on January of 22, I was on an airplane to Arizona. So
Bingo! Oh, the moron just hit the bingo.
you didn't serve me with anything, sir.
You might have been. It was sent to the 36th District Court, along with one that was sent to Christina Ritter by the prosecutor's office and the 36th District Court, and one was sent to the clerk of the court. I'm not here to argue with you, Judge. I'm not here to argue with you. Can I ask a question?
You may.
What is the colour and age of the man allegedly on the docket?
I could care less about the
I could care less. Good answer, Your Honor. Good answer.
color or the
It says,
Okay, so here we are. We're not getting anywhere. Miss Ritter, how do the people wish to proceed with this case? Do you have a complaining witness?
By the way, she clicked the mute button on the defendant, who is just going... Oh, hold on. Whoever this fifth window that just popped up smiling and laughing is just awesome. Just awesome.
Your Honor, so just a little procedural background on this case. It started out as a felony with count 1, assaulting, resisting, and obstructing a police officer, which was dismissed at the exam stage, leaving count 2, disturbing the peace, left for this matter, which is the misdemeanor count in front of Your Honor. So at this time, the people are ready to proceed on disturbing the peace charge, Judge.
All right.
As the people's understanding that there's no complaining witness needed for that disturbing the peace charge.
The court is going to enter a not guilty plea on behalf of Mr. Tyers. Now, if Mr. Tyers if there is no Mr.
By the way, he's still going apeshit yelling in the corner even though he's muted.
Tyers, then I would appreciate this other person not showing up for court. So if you're not Mr. Tyers, please don't come back to my courtroom. Because the only person that I'm interested in is Mr. Tyers. I don't know what his color is, and it is of no consequences to me. I don't know what his age is, and that is of no consequences to me. I don't know what his race is, and that is of no consequences to me. What I know
now he's trying to hold up a sheet on his Zoom camera because he figured out he's muted. And dude, that's not gonna help you.
Is this: if you're not Mr. Tyers, just don't show up. I want to just deal with Mr. Tyers. That's the only person that this case is against. And if that is not you, then perhaps it's someone else. But please stop showing up on the case that is for Mr. Tyers. All right, so as it relates to Mr. Tyers, apparently he didn't show up. Mr. Tyers hasn't shown up today.
Uh-oh, sovereign citizen, you may just done fucked up, boy. Yeah, you may seriously have done fucked up.
And therefore, I'm going to just save this case to the end of the docket, as I do with all the other failure to appears, and I will address Mr. Tyers' case at the end of the docket as a failure to appear. Mr. James Matthew, have a nice day. You never have to come back because you're not Mr. Tyers. So I appreciate you, I don't know, coming to...
That whole thing was just a thing of beauty. I stayed out of the way because it's just so delicious in and of itself. His argument, I believe, is he's served her with affidavits of truth, which are meaningless and have no bearing on anything. She doesn't have anything in the court file. So he's just throwing nonsense at her. I don't know if she's ever received it or whatever. It doesn't matter. It has no effect. It hasn't made the court file. Wasn't properly filed, and it isn't before the court. And she does what I think is very good, which is just, look, if you're not going to acknowledge that you are the person charged, then I'll just throw this at the end of my call. I'll just pass it. And then at that time, if no one's there, then I'll probably issue a bench warrant for the person, which, of course, she knows is him, and he knows is him. And then we'll probably do this whole thing 30 days from now after he gets picked up off a warrant. It's just too good. She explains it to him. I think she makes it perfectly clear. But if that doesn't do it for you, Mr. Tire, or whatever, James Matthew of the family Tire, however you want to be addressed, maybe Judge Rangel can explain it to you.
What I've said to you right now has not sunk in. You really still don't grasp it. That's what you need to understand, and you don't. And that's where I want to help you.
Thank you, Judge.
Just, I don't know, on his behalf, I guess. I really don't know why you showed up today. If you want to file a motion with the court, you can file a motion with the court. However, I'm not going to entertain anything else. And you are yelling at me at this moment. And so I won't entertain you. So thank you so much. You have a great day.
I just love how she has him on mute. He's going to town, but she's having none of it. He won't acknowledge that he's there. She's got a case. She called it. From her perspective, she is legally absolutely correct. I've called a case. The defendant is not here. We're wasting our time. Set it over to the end of the call and recall it. If the defendant doesn't show up at that point, then she'll take whatever appropriate action. She could just set another date on it or issue a bench warrant. My guess is she issues a bench warrant.
And stay safe. All right. Mr. Soroki, I'm bringing in the city attorney. Did you need to speak with the city attorney on your two cases?
Yes.
All right.
All right, that's good enough right there. On that one, gotta love morons. And I love morons enough that we had to leave a little bit of it on. All right. So that takes care of that moron. Let's get ourselves some blue skin stones to balance us out. There we go. We'll keep the other 200. That now gives us a more even keel of a bunch. Oh, I don't have any moves. I was gonna say good, let's go in and do some moves, but while we're at it, let's go ahead and mix in a little bit of everything. Let's handle a little sovereign citizen, flat earth with our sovereign citizen. This, which we'll call the Dumb and Dumber edition. Of the Moron and Moron Extraordinaire show. This will be Owen Benjamin, is who we have. Doing his best to not be an extremely stupid person. So, let's begin with the stupid people, shall we? Because, well, they are. So, with that, and fast forward in the beginning of their show because they have a really, really long opening to be stupid. There we go.
When you go east and west are circles around the magnetic pole, whether it's the axis of a ball or the center of the flat earth. It's the magnetic center. You hold your compass out, and the compass will point towards the north, right? So if the north is that way, and I want to go west, I'm going to go west But as I go, I have to stay equidistant from that North Pole magnet. So west on a ball Earth or a flat Earth is a circle.
Right. No,
And east is a circle.
I see that
South
completely. That one never got me. The whole I go around the Earth. It's like that makes total sense on dome Earth or just not sphere Earth to me. That one never got me.
Dirth, do you not realize that on a flat Earth, due east and due west are two-dimensional curved lines, whereas in reality, due east and due west are straight lines that curve along a third axis, allowing them to remain straight with no deviation along the x and y axis and still curve back on itself so that you finish at the same point that you started. This well-known fact also explains the equatorial traversal of the sun appearing to be a straight line on the surface of the Earth during the equinoxes, whereas on a flat Earth map, the sun never travels in a straight line. The flat Earth model simply cannot account for these empirical and historical observations, therefore it does not fit reality. As far as the compasses go, flat Earthers would have to try to explain how and why a northern magnetic pole exists without a southern magnetic pole. To this day, we have never observed a natural magnetic monopole, and only an idiot would assert that the Earth is the one special condition.
So,
Well, it only makes sense because billions of people have circumnavigated the Earth east or west. Nobody's done it south.
no one
South
ever does it north-south. And why don't
No
why,
one
why
ever
does
does it.
no one
Now you
talk about
can't
that?
here.
Both of you guys are such fucking idiots. In 1982, the Guinness Book of World Records added Ranulph Fiennes and Charles Burton to the record books as the first people to make a surface circumnavigation of Earth crossing both poles. It took them 2 years, 361 days, but eventually they crossed both the North and South poles and returned to their starting point in Greenwich, England.
Here's where you get confused. So see, there's a circle map behind me, but if you go north, which is towards the center, you can go over the north and go to the other side of the world.
Right.
So you go north, and then as soon as you pass the center, you're now going south. But if you keep going in any direction, it becomes south. If you point your compass west, then put your compass down and head in a straight line, you're heading south.
Dirth, you're dumb as dog shit, dude. Due west does not head south at any time and remains perpendicular to due north and south without any deviation along the x or y axis. Let me demonstrate this. Imagine that you are driving in a car on the equator heading east, and you wanted to circumnavigate the Earth. If the Earth were flat, then your two-dimensional coordinate system would consist of both an x and a y axis. We will call the y-axis your left-right axis, and the x-axis as your front-back axis. On a flat Earth model, anytime you orient yourself so that your y-axis is pointed directly at the North Pole, you are by definition pointing due east. If you begin driving straight, you will immediately notice that the y-axis will begin falling out of alignment with the North Pole, meaning you are no longer perpendicular, and you are now heading in a southern direction. This is not what we see in reality. But on a globe, we are now working with a third dimension, the z-axis, which allows your car to orient itself in another dimension without violating its need to be perpendicular to the north and south. This is what matches our reality, as due east and due west are straight lines with no deviation on the x and y axis, only deviation on the z-axis. This is by far one of the easiest proofs to understand that shows that the Earth cannot be flat. But flat earthers don't get it, because flat earthers are idiots.
Oh yeah, I cut you off about the baskets. Finish your basket thought. I did.
By the way, 45 minutes later with these two morons.
I did a Jew joke. Finish the basket. My bad.
The basket is whatever we talk about. It can either go into that works on a flat Earth, only on a flat Earth, or that works only on a ball Earth, or hey, that works on both. Circumnavigation east and west works on both.
It does.
Circumnavigation south only works on a flat Earth.
Dirth, you're an idiot. Any attempt to circumnavigate the flat Earth north to south would end up running into your imaginary flat Earth dome, or would just continue on forever. I've recently seen some flat earthers that suggest that there may be a portal on one side of the flat Earth that immediately transfers you to the other side of the flat Earth, suggesting more of a Pac-Man Earth. I mean, Who knows? I've personally seen a movie where a child was swept up by a tornado and dropped off in Oz. So I guess anything's possible on a flat Earth.
Hey, that movie's good.
My expertise is not in some of these technical fields. Like some pilots I know think the Earth is flat.
Your expertise is not in a technical field. Why am I not surprised considering what I've heard from you?
One pilot wrote to me to ask you about direct communication. Why sometimes if you go too low, they have a hard time communicating because of the perceived curve of the Earth versus higher. Do you have an answer for that?
Yeah, so that gets into perspective and angles of attack. You know, when you're looking or sending a radio wave, the farther out it goes, the angle of attack gets less and less and less and less. Like,
while Owen binged,
I was gonna say, Skeptic Man, weren't you a radio guy in the military? Can't you speak about this?
Benjamin might be an expert in being a racist and a total fucking idiot, I happen to have been a radar tech in the Navy in my younger days, and this angle of attack bullshit was never mentioned in my education. This is because angle of attack is a completely made-up phrase by Jism and Nathan Oakley to try to confuse people just enough to believe they're bullshit. An omnidirectional radar wave diverges from its point of origin, meaning height really doesn't matter. Unless you are flying right next to the ground, you should always be in line of sight of the radar. It has nothing to do with perspective or angle of attack. The only way that height would make a difference in the ability to see the radar waves is if the lower elevation is inside of what we call a radar shadow that's created by an obstruction, and the higher elevation is outside of the radar shadow. This obstruction that keeps the lower elevation planes from seeing the radar is the Earth.
If you, let's just say you in a long hallway, you're in one of those long hotels in Vegas, and you laying down on the floor, you have a camera down on the floor, and somebody's walking down the hallway, their feet are going to disappear before they get to the end of that hallway because of the angle of attack. And it's the same thing with radio waves too.
No, Durf. If you put a camera right next to the floor and a person starts walking down a long hallway, the minor imperfections in the floor can cover more and more of the person walking away from the camera, due to perspective. This explains the floor observation, but it does not explain radar shadows, because radars on ships at sea don't have to worry about obstructions on the ground for planes that are miles in the air. The only obstruction that keeps a plane from being hit by the radar waves is the curve of the Earth.
So as they're going, so people say, when the sun sets and I went up higher and I saw the sun again, I saw it set again, that proves the ball Earth. No, it doesn't. It just proves that you've raised your angle and you now have a better perspective and you've increased the viewing angle of whatever it is you're looking at.
Right. Wrong again, idiot. If the sun was 3,000 miles in elevation and the sub-solar point was several thousand miles away from you on the ground, then going up in elevation by a few hundred feet wouldn't actually change your viewing angle by very much, due to perspective. However, on a globe Earth with a radius of about 4,000 miles, your visible horizon would extend by several miles by raising up slightly in elevation. For example, an observer at 6 feet of elevation will have a visible horizon of about 3 miles in all directions. By increasing the viewer height by only 500 feet, we increase the distance to the visible horizon by about 24.5 miles. This is why increasing in elevation allows a person with a drone or in a tall building to see 2 sunsets or sunrises in one day.
But this gets a little complicated, and I'll just give you the brief explanation. Looking at something from a terrestrial point of view, looking at something else that is on the ground, a terrestrial object, that's going to shrink, and when its size gets too small for your eye to resolve, the angular resolution limits of your eye make it disappear. But if a terrestrial viewer looking at a celestial object like the sun or the moon, as it goes away, it's going to drop down, and it's going to get eclipsed by the atmospheric layer in between.
So what you are saying is that there are special rules that apply to objects in the sky versus objects on the ground. No, you idiot. That's not how science works. Either the same rules apply to everything, or the rules you are applying are irrelevant. And as I stated already, a sun that is several thousand miles away and several thousand miles in the sky would not have that great of a viewing angle change when going up in elevation just a couple hundred feet.
If you're looking down, I could look down Long Island Sound here, and about 25 miles away, the clouds look like they're touching the horizon because everything is compressed. Well, the sun is above that, and as the sun goes away, it's going to get eclipsed behind that cloud deck, which looks like the horizon, but it's not.
Again, you are completely wrong. If the sun was several thousand miles in elevation, it would never touch the horizon. It would simply make a huge circle over our heads, going from largest at solar noon to smallest at solar midnight. Now, I can't understand how flat earthers can use perspective as a staple of their belief system and not accept this prediction that perspective makes. Maybe because flat earthers are willfully ignorant morons, or maybe because they're intellectually dishonest idiots.
Yeah.
If you want to learn about how perspective works, there's a video that was just put out on the Jeranism channel. Someone tell me the name, but it's about perspective. It's a couple days old, and it's a long video. It's like 2 hours, but it will explain how things disappear due to perspective and how there's the vanishing point and how things disappear from the bottom up.
I completely disagree. If you want to learn about perspective, visit an educational art website or a physics website covering optics. That will give you the true definition of perspective and the mathematical equation that accompanies it. Visit Jism's channel if you want to learn how to be a dishonest con man and take thousands of dollars from mentally inferior flat earth idiots.
There's a podcast called Dome Life by Paul on the Plane, and he does a lot of NASA stuff, but he had a pilot on that was talking where he knew the earth was flat, and he told a story about how I'm probably screwing this up a little bit, but how he talked to other pilots, and they're like, really, what do you mean? And he's trying to convince them. So they, on multiple transatlantic trips, they brought globes on, they're tracking themselves, and it took the pilots about a year to go, okay, it's not a globe, it's flat.
I'm not sure if this is the same anecdotal interview from Paul on the Plains channel or not, but Wolfie6020, a great YouTuber and an actual intercontinental airline pilot, debunked that fake pilot's claims without a doubt. It seems as if lately, gullible flat earth idiots are just buying any story that comes out that supports their narrative, without fact-checking the sources first.
Ahoy hoy, Jism. What do you think about people like yourself believing that document that says that Globe Earth YouTubers get paid by NASA?
Pretty sad if you ask me.
I agree. I think there's something we can all learn from it.
Their stupid hoax?
You sound a bit salty there, Jism. Anyway, if you want to know what I'm on about, click the link above my head, or maybe it's over there. I don't know what Team Skeptic's doing.
I mean, everything about an airplane is flying over the Earth plane. You know, if you look at flight routes from Santiago, Chile, it goes all the way up to the United States, across the United States, and then back down to the south rather than cutting across. But watch that on a flat map. Every line is a straight line.
Wow. Now that was a whole bunch of useless information. A plane starts in Santiago, Chile, goes up to the United States, then back down south? How about giving us a starting point and ending point so that we can compare it to a great circle and see if it matches our model? Now, for those of you who don't know what a great circle is, it's any line that connects 2 points on a sphere in the shortest distance possible. It also happens to go all the way around the sphere and meet back up at its starting point. Examples of great circles in reality are the equator and lines of longitude. However, the equator is the only line of latitude that's also a great circle. All other lines of latitude are not great circles. Let me give you an example. Let's take 2 points that are not on the equator, but share a common latitude. Now, one might think that the shortest distance between these 2 points would be the line of latitude that they are on. However, this is not the case. Let's assign the 2 points to the coordinates of 45 degrees north, 90 degrees east, and 45 degrees north, 90 degrees west. This puts the 2 points on opposite sides of the globe. Now, by doing some calculations, we can compare the 2 distances between the 2 points along the line of latitude and the 2 points along the line of their great circle. Given a radius of 4,000 miles, A line of latitude at 45 degrees north will make a circle on the Earth that is parallel to the equator that has a radius of 2,828.43 miles, giving it a circumference of 17,771.53 miles. We already said that the 2 points are on exact opposite sides of the Earth, so we can divide the circumference by 2 to get a distance along the 45th parallel of 8,885.77 miles. If we take that measurement along the Great Circle with a radius of 4,000 miles, we will see that the circumference of the Earth is 25,132.74 miles, which is larger than the other circumference. However, we will only need to use 90 degrees or 1/4 of the circumference, and that comes out to 6,283.19 miles, which is about 2,600 miles shorter. So it is actually a shorter distance to follow the Great Circle and not the lines of latitude, which makes perfect sense on a globe Earth.
In the flight manual from NASA and federal area FAA, it says to treat the Earth as a flat, non-rotating plane.
Right.
Okay? In their calculation, flat, non-rotating plane. What does that tell you?
Well, for starters, that tells you that they are all in the same frame of reference. If the Earth was erratically changing speeds or directions, then that would present a problem for pilots. But since the Earth is rotating with a constant velocity and conservation of momentum is a thing, you can treat the Earth as non-rotating and flat, just as you can treat the inside of your car as not moving when traveling at a constant velocity. And the phrase treating something as if it were flat is not the same as saying it is flat. Dirth, you're an idiot.
Dude, just the spinning of the Earth when you're going east to west or west to east, if it's going 1,000 miles an hour and you're in a 300 mile per hour plane and you're in part of the atmosphere that apparently is so thin it doesn't get sucked out of an infinite vacuum, how the fuck does that not affect your flight map?
Owen Benjamin, you're an idiot. There is no such thing as an infinite vacuum, and the vacuum of space doesn't suck like a Hoover does. And plane flights that are about 6 miles up don't have to worry about getting sucked into the vacuum of space, since the Karen line doesn't even start until about 62 miles up.
And people are
How
like,
about
the
this?
Coriolis
How about
effect with snipers. I'm like, I know snipers that have killed 50 fucking people, and they'll tell you straight up there's no Coriolis effect with the bullet. That's bullshit.
You know, if they shoot and it's a little left, they just aim a little to the right. It has nothing to do with Coriolis.
No,
They're a little
it's about
left,
their scope.
move
It's
to the
about-
right.
It's about how many yards it's bullshit.
Well, you heard it here first, guys. In the heat of battle, when hitting the target the first time counts the most, instead of taking the Coriolis into account, they just tell the snipers to miss the first shot and adjust accordingly. You can tell that neither one of these two idiots have ever been in the military. The Coriolis effect is something that is very subtle, and therefore can only really be observed over large distances. The average sniper is simply not shooting at targets that are kilometers away, and therefore the Coriolis effect is minimal.
So just think about this. You know, the baller explanation for airplanes, an airplane sitting on a runway at the equator is traveling 1,000 miles per hour before it even starts moving. So whether it's going east or west, it takes that momentum and flies, and it has its 500 miles an hour land speed. So it's either going 1,500 miles an hour or negative 500 miles an hour, but its land speed is 500 miles an hour. What about an airplane that takes off from northern Alaska, where its land speed is only like 200 miles an hour because it's so close to the center of rotation, flies to the equator? How does it make up that 700-800 miles per hour?
Oh, I don't know, Dirth. Maybe with these, or, I don't know, these, or
By the way, he's showing off a bunch of engines.
these, and these, and, oh yeah, these. Dirth, you're a fucking idiot.
And I made an app that shows you where you are on the Earth.
I love how Owen Benjamin is completely not paying any more attention to Dirth. And when Dirth realizes this, he thinks to himself, hopefully this idiot likes lights. And this is his reaction.
So I don't know if you can see this. There was
Oh,
they
that's
couldn't see it last
hysterical,
time.
dude.
No, Owen, you and every other Flat Earth idiot are hysterical. And as far as that app goes, download it if you want, but don't try to use it for anything purposeful like navigation. Remember what Dirth said earlier. On his map, when you're going east, you're actually going south. That Flat Earth Clock app is just another way for the leaders of the Flat Earth cult to suck the money out of the pockets of mentally incapable Flat Earth idiots.
I'm gonna get that because I find that fucking interesting. Because that's one thing I want is a better idea of the map. But how about the fact it's the UN's map, right in plain sight? That's the United Nations map.
I don't know if you know this or not, but the UN map is simply a two-dimensional projection of the three-dimensional Earth, which ironically also happens to be the Flat Earth map as well. Those idiots have still failed to explain why Australia on their map is so much larger and distorted than it is in real life.
It shows you seasons also. It shows you how seasons work. Because if you look, the sun travels in and out between the tropics. And when it's on the inside, it's our summer. When it's on the outside, it's our winter and the southern summer. And it makes perfect sense. And just remember that wherever the sun is, it's noon. So right now it's noon in Australia, so on the west side of Australia.
Oh my god. Owen Benjamin's face is killing me right now. Once Dirth started trying to explain seasons with his bullshit, Owen lost all interest and started thinking about porn again. Even Owen Benjamin knows Dirth is an idiot.
That's fascinating.
It's pretty cool. It's got a bunch of features on it. It shows you your weather for the day. I'm always expanding it, making it more. It's fun. And the other thing is, every day I put a new video on it, but then it has the video archive. So if you're researching Flat Earth, you hit the video archive, you got a huge playlist of the best Flat Earth videos, whether it's mine, Jeranisms, it doesn't matter. There's all different stuff on there. And, if you watch one good video a day, in 2 weeks you'll be a Flat Earther.
I beg to differ, Dirth. I personally comb through hundreds, if not thousands, of Flat Earth videos a week looking for prime stupidity like this video, and I'm still not a Flat Earther. I think because you have to meet certain requirements before becoming a Flat Earther. First, you must be scientifically and mathematically illiterate. Second, you must deny observational reality. And third, you must be a total fucking idiot.
I was going to say, you gotta be a dumb fuck. But the idiot works.
Now, I'd like to take the time.
So, yeah, I'll agree with you there. Alright, we're going to leave these two morons just because, well, I'm losing too many brain cells listening to Tweedledum and Tweedledummer. Well, since we're doing a hodgepodge, why don't we go ahead and get a First Amendment auditor involved as well? And better yet, let's make sure we get them arrested. So, today in that category, we have Captain, oh my god, I hate America, trying to do his First Amendment audit bullshit at a local police station. Oh, what could go wrong? Seriously. What could go wrong? Now, of course, I always say that, kind of like in jest, but seriously, what could go wrong? Alright. So, today, let's go ahead and handle the moron. Moron. Moron, you have the stage. Brilliant content. We're watching him walk to the PlayStation.
Captain I Hate America was okay the entire time he was on the sidewalk, but then he decided to enter the police parking lot, and that's going to be a problem.
5 minutes later.
Cops asking for ID.
Frauditors seem to have an infatuation with police cars, police station, and police business in general. Perhaps they harbor a deep, dark secret that they want to become a police officer one day. By the way, I don't know who this is behind the camera. I have a feeling it's my good friend Joseph Hart, who likes to copyright strike me every chance he gets. Feel free, Joe. It would be another false copyright strike that you would lose. Oh,
Now you tell me.
maybe I could take you to federal court for harassment.
How are you? What's up? Not much. What's going on? He just couldn't let him speak on his behalf. What's going on with you? You don't run your organization, right? I'm with myself, First Amendment. Yeah. Are you friends with Sox? So what are you doing in real life? Taking pictures of property. This isn't public property. There's a sign right there. This is restricted area. Yes. This is police cars. Where's the restricted area?
I must apologize, officers, but these are uneducated, unemployed fools who have no idea what they're rambling about. Just put them in jail.
If we bring prisoners out here, we don't need you to interfere with that. If you want to take pictures, you can do it right over there. Where's the? If you want to take pictures, why are you putting your hands on? Why are you putting your hands on? That's why you have people put your hands on me because you have to tell us something. I give you instructions. And you have to put your hands on me. Did you know if I put my hands on you, what would you do? Did I just ask you? You don't have to put your hands on me. I'm taking pictures of public property. Alright?
Captain I Hate America doesn't like to be touched at all, but he really needs to learn what assault is all about. Now, I've never seen him assaulted, but I would really like to, wouldn't you?
Okay, you can do it over there. What's your name, Sergeant Blue, 30. Sergeant Blue? Yeah. 30. What's your name, badge number? What's your name? What if I can't? Okay, we're just giving you instructions to leave. We're giving you instructions to leave the rear lot. Is this a restricted area? From the rear lot, okay? Is this a restricted area? It is. Okay. There's not a sign over there, though.
A sign would do absolutely no good because we just heard Captain I Hate America say he couldn't read. Didn't you hear what he said?
I'm trying as best I can, but it is the First Amendment auditor's camera that's got the very low audio level.
In the state that doesn't have a fenced area. We don't know why. This is a restricted
There's
area.
signs right there.
Okay, if I may see the restricted area sign, I'll be more than glad to step out. But I believe this is a public area, so it's open to the public. Okay, so walk out. Where's your sign? I'm gonna look for your sign. Look for your sign. It says police personnel only. Right there. Does that pass this area? Right at the beginning of the driveway.
So instead of turning around and leaving, these two tough guys walked further into the police parking lot. You know nothing good can come of this, right?
That's that area. That's the sign over there. Okay, I'm going to give you one more instruction, or you're going to go to jail for refusing to move. Are you giving me a lawful demand? Yes, I am. You are? Okay. Yes. Now, one more question. Are you familiar with the Rhode Island Fusion Center? Yes. Apparently, none of you guys read the memo. Would you like to read the memo that was sent out to you guys that you guys didn't read? Did you read the memo from the Rhode Island?
Now, what the hell is going on with this potato cam? You don't know how to hold the potato cam properly? Well, I guess I'm going to have to fix the picture. Give me one moment.
Fusion Center. Would you like to receive the memo? We have it in writing. Would you like to receive it since you guys picked it online? Then I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 officers are familiar with the law. Sir, put your hands behind your back. Put your hands behind your back. Hands behind your back. Hands behind your back.
Handcuffs.
This is what you guys wanted.
Well, there.
Of course it's what they wanted, officer. They're idiots. Idiots love handcuffs. And they're so appreciated that you gave them handcuffs. It's kind of like Darby, the head elf from Harry Potter, being presented with clothes. They appreciate you. I don't know why Nexters isn't loading the next fight. Alright, do we have a small one? If we have a small one, we'll go ahead and do that. If not, we will have to call it. Not load up another one, in other words, because of time frames. Sorry about the yawn. Okay. Ah, hell. Why don't we do that? We've done auditors, we've done for citizens, we've done First Amendment losers, we've even thrown in the flat earthers. Why don't we end up with some Karens? You know, just make it a smorgasbord. Complete the entire circle. So here's today's Karen.
Hey, Peggy, what's up?
Yeah.
What's going on?
I want to talk to Raul.
Raul?
Yeah.
Okay. About?
I spoke to him already. He knows. Don't get nervous. It's nothing to do with you. I'm speaking to him.
Hey, you're yelling outside of my house. I want
So
to know
what? I'm on the sidewalk.
Come on, like what's going on?
I am on the sidewalk.
Okay, that's fine. What's going on?
Don't get involved. Okay, that's what I'm telling you.
He's busy. He's working right now.
It doesn't bother you. It's not your business. It's their business.
Okay, he's working right now here.
Yes, so. I didn't tell him to come out. Por favor, speak Espanol. Speak American. You're American. You're here in the United States.
Excuse me, Spanish is spoken in this country a whole lot more than you think, Peggy.
No, I don't think so, Gabby.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
I don't know
what?
what's up with you. This is not okay.
Well, you know what's too bad. It doesn't involve you.
You're yelling on my property, Peggy.
I'm not on your property, my sweetheart.
He's working here. Why
I didn't tell him to come out. I didn't tell him to come out. I didn't call him.
I understand that you didn't. But
well, then go back in your house and mind your business.
Walk away. You don't get
to
talk to me
out
Peggy.
in your house.
You don't get to speak to me that way, Peggy. Check your tone and walk home.
No, I don't need to. I am here on the sidewalk.
Enjoy your sidewalk, Peggy. But you're being really rude for no reason.
I'm not being rude. You came out and barged me.
Excuse me. No, I did not. No, I did not, Peggy. No, I did not.
Keep recording. Go ahead.
I'm going to keep recording.
You need to take care of your daughter.
Please. No, she's good.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah?
Yeah, we're good, Peggy.
Yeah. Well,
your
so
opinion
am
isn't
I.
needed, honey.
So am I. No,
I'm not sure what. I'm sorry if you're going through something, Peggy. I'm really sorry. You should see a therapist, Peggy.
And you're sticking your nose in some place where it doesn't.
He's working here. There's no reason for you to come here and talk to him.
I didn't know.
Then why are you talking to him?
I don't even know his name. For your information. So go back.
Wait a minute. Yes, you do. At the beginning of this video, you said it's between me and Jorge. See, I just started the video, and I still remembered what you said his name was. Now, supposedly, because it's against your ability, I forgot the name. Peggy, stop being a Karen.
Gracias, Peggy. Que tengas buen día. Que Dios te bendiga, Peggy. Adios, Peggy. I have no fucking idea. I'm looking out the window and she's screaming at el señor que está aquí con el moño. And I was like, what is going on? So I came out here and I was like, yo, what's going on? She's like, I want to talk to Raul.
See? Working.
Did you go to school? Do you know what that means? Leave me the hell alone. Leave me alone. Jesus, you ought to listen to yourself sometimes. I was nice about it when I came in and asked for it. I don't want your help. I don't want your help. Get your supervisor.
I'm the manager.
I don't want the manager. I said supervisor. God, you don't have to shut up.
Man.
I don't want to I want the supervisor.
I don't want your fucking help. Do you understand me? Yes, I do. You won't shut up.
Okay, Karen, get out of the everything's a dollar store.
You don't have to. Shut up! Shut up! Shut up! Yes, you do. Yes, you do. It's completely uncalled for you to keep harassing me.
I'm not harassing you. Your part is not going through.
Because you're harassing me. Leave me the fuck alone. Do you not understand? Call your boss. Call your boss right now. Call your boss. You're not the one I want to talk to. Call your boss. Whose number is it?
Hopefully it's a number to have your ass arrested because you're being a fucking idiot.
Yes. You want to write it down?
Yeah, that is the number.
Write corporate number on there for me.
That is the corporate.
Write the word corporate office for me.
Yeah, that's the corporate number. I write it down.
You're stupid. You know that? You're very stupid, man. Very, very stupid. You are very stupid.
Wait, the clerk is very stupid because you can't write the words corporate number yourself. She physically wrote the number out, and now you're yelling at her because she won't write the words corporate and the word number.
You are just stupid. Okay. Would you walk away?
I'm not going to walk away.
I'll pay for my food if you walk away.
Ma'am, I'm not going to walk away because my 14 the transaction is not going through.
Because you've been talking to me.
Yes.
Me. Please, leave me alone, sir. If you would listen to this as good as he just did, you wouldn't have any problem.
Ma'am, I just asked what was wrong. That's all I asked.
Are we good, sir?
Alright, you get another one.
This is not accusing. I tried borrowing yours. You didn't want to let me use it. I brought my microphone. I'm going to use it. This is perfect. Thank you. We're set up great. The pandemic started all because humans have lost a little bit of faith. And cuff me.
Oh my god, this is one of those anti-mask Karen bullshitters. And she's in the middle of a flight pulling this crap. Oh my god, where the hell's my baseball bat?
You're gonna cuff me. Yes. I don't need to be taken anywhere. I don't need to be cuffed. I'm completely harmless. Also, I think you're all enjoying this.
No, let's be truthful. You're completely a moron. Not completely harmless, completely a moron. If we're going to go ahead and make blanket statements, let's make the blanket statement actually true.
Because, like I said, I'm not terrible to look at. Yeah. You want that message. That's me. The reason why the pandemic started was basically because the internet. So the reason the pandemic started is because.
Oh my my god, hold on. This anti-mask Karen actually brought her own amplification system and a microphone. No wonder why, for all of the Karens, this was actually the one that has actual decent audio. She brought her own amplification and microphone so she could get up in the middle of a plane ride to be an anti-mask Karen fucktard. Oh, God. And I do mean Karen. There. Jesus Christ.
Anyone say, because you're all stuck to your stupid devices, and you don't even know what reality is anymore, and you depend on stupid nonsense to determine your reality. My dog has better sense than any of you. In fact, my dog could be a better god for you people. My dog is.
Wait, her dog is a god for people. Forget my baseball bat. I'm gonna give me a mallet. Actually, better yet, a good shovel. We'll just whack her with it repeatedly. And that was today's morons in the wild, aka Karens. Oh my god, morons. Morons everywhere I turn. Bunch of Karens, aka morons. Alright, with that, we'll draw part 2 to a close. We will return, of course, with our final portion of the Midnight in the Desert's interview with the medicine hat owner in Colorado for legalized marijuana. Until then, make sure you do like, share, and subscribe. Get us to those goals for both Foxy over at Nexters and YouTube to pay attention. That's 5,000 views of the videos, 1,000 subscribers of the YouTube channel. Once they do, they start sending us items. We send them to you, our guests and watchers. Of course, crypto below. Follow the steps to get your free crypto. And of course, until next time, it's always a great new world to release the Krakens. We'll see you later tonight in the overnight for tonight's Midnight in the Desert.